So in this tutorial, I'll be going over how I use multiband dynamics to sidechain to my kick and my snare. So what you want to do first is create a MIDI channel and put operator on there. Take the sustain to -infinite, make the decay 80 milliseconds, and then take the channel volume and turn it all the way down, -infinite. And now copy the kick pattern to that channel and also your snare pattern. All right, now that you have the MIDI information copied, put multiband dynamics on your main channel or your main group, whatever isn't your kick, drums, and hi-hat. All I have is this bass rack going on right now, so I'm just going to drop it on there. And I'm going to solo out the sub-frequencies of that channel. Next, I'm going to create 2 audio tracks. I'm going to record the kick and also record the bass or whatever group that you are compressing. Now take another multiband dynamics, drop it on your kick, right? Solo out the sub-frequencies and then record on the kick channel and hold control and then hit record on the synth channel. So now you're recording on both. I like to loop a short amount where I know that there's going to be bass so I can zoom real far, right? So now I'm recording. All I have is the sub of the kick and the bass that's going on right now. So I'm going to zoom in nice and tight and take the above section. You click this A here, take the ratio, turn it all the way up to infinite, bring this down. First, you're going to want to hit the sidechain button and get the audio input from the sidechain for the kick. Now take the threshold and bring it down. So you can see it's compressing and it's actually pretty good. You don't really have to tweak it that much. If you want, you can make it bigger. I'm gonna take the time and turn it down, 200 milliseconds maybe, just so that the bass and the kick are grooving together, you know, talking to each other. You can see how the tail of this kick fades out and the bass fades in. That's what you want to see. Now, I'm going to the mid section. Go up to your kick, click the mid section again. Okay. And take the above of the mid section, take it all the way down. Same thing, -infinite, bring it down until you're seeing compression. Then go over to the time and turn it down again. This is why I like to loop a smaller section. Okay, so it's still kind of a bit too much, so I'm going to take this above threshold and just bring it up until it looks good. You don't need too much, you just need the transient of the kick to come through. Now I'm going to the high band. So like the high frequencies. And same thing, you don't really need too much, you just need for that transient to cut through. I did the same thing, turn the ratio up to infinite, click time, and bring it down. All right, now you can see at the beginning here, it is compressing to the sound of the kick. Next, you do the snare. And I'm going to solo out the mids, and I'm going to change this from light kicks, my snare channel. All right. Mid frequencies are soloed out. Go to your synths or your group, and then take another multiband. Drop it on the channel. Solo out the mids. Get the MIDI information, click this pi here, click sidechain, go to snare, click the above, drop it all the way down. All right. All right. So you can see it's compressing. If you want it even tighter, you can bring it down all the way, and then you make the time shorter, which you don't need that much. I'm going to take the threshold and bring it up till it's looking good. All right. Then you go to your high frequencies and you switch to the highs on the snare and do the same thing, make it infinite, bring it all the way down. For some reason the highs don't like to compress as much, so turn up. Oh, that's weird. Fuck, it's not working right. I don't get why it does that. Sometimes. Fucking thing. Next, for the snare, I already dropped the multiband dynamics on the channel, and I clicked this pie here, click sidechain, and then get your MIDI information from the snare channel that you have set. Take the ratio and turn it all the way up. All right, take the time down. If it's still compressing too much, you take the threshold and bring it up. That's looking good, so I'm gonna go to the highs. Soloing out the highs on the snare, going back to my group, and I am turning this ratio all the way up and I'm bringing the threshold all the way down. All right, so for the high frequencies, it doesn't compress as much, so you have to really turn that threshold all the way down and turn up the time until you're seeing the compression that you want to see. And again, you only want, for like high frequencies, just for the transient to get through. The transient is the beginning part of the sound. It's the initial click, like the first millisecond. All right. So that's how you compress with multi-band dynamics in Ableton. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the channel.